I'll answer the first bit and pass on, because I think working in partnership is really, really important for us and what we do. The Royal College of Art started running courses and initiatives in partnership with Imperial because we're really specialist and we've got fabulous designers, and Imperial have got fabulous engineers. And we put them together in 2007 in business incubators, and the businesses and the projects that have come out have been phenomenal, supported by funding from the college, funding from Nesta and other public bodies, and we've got really brilliant businesses coming out that are going out, taking space and units and making money for themselves. And so I think working in partnership and being able to support new initiatives when you're coming from different specialisms is great, and yeah, that's something we support and do and will obviously continue to do.
I think vision is at the centre really of our ideal business model. I think for the creative industries that's to do with art being for everyone. I think for us it's to do with new writing being the lifeblood of the theatre. Every industry needs reinventing, and I suppose that's where we are in terms of that. Lack of resources.
Your child?
Firefighting. My child. And fundraising. Like 80% of my time I spend trying to find the money, you know, in reference to what David was saying, after you've had the idea. And actually, you know what, it should be hard won, because it makes you appreciate it and it makes you justify it. But it just shouldn't be quite as hard won as it is.
I think in answer to the first one, there isn't a business model, because that's kind of what people buy if you're not following a model. And then in terms of the second one, same kind of, on a kind of mundane level, just firefighting and doing the work, not being able to go out and get more of it. And I suppose that one way that sort of starts to get easier is just organisation, and that's sort of something within a creative industry, although I don't really like the kind of, I think that's a bit of a tired label, that a lot of people sort of equate organisation with not being creative, and that sometimes that's wrong.
In comedy, it's actually remarkably prosaic. It's location, you know, being in the right place. Westminster would be the right place, but for this flying ban, which is going to kill comedy in the country, and it really is. So Wandsworth is doing a lot better, and Lorinda, fantastically, you know, she's a real stalwart and promoter of that. Keeping costs down, that is absolutely key. Finding suitable staff, which is impossible, and I have no idea how to do it. So I just talk to everyone, and I go out and hand my business card out to a lot of people. Knowledge of the industry, which you just get with time. So in reality, all I'm saying is working really, 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 really hard. And by that, it's also doing the really the things that you don't want to do. So if you can identify the things that you don't want to do, then that's probably the thing you should be doing more of. And distraction from business development for me is finding suitable staff, because most people don't want to work as hard as we want to work. So yes.
I struggle to find business models within my industry, because the industry's decided to kind of champion big groups, and we've decided to own huge chains and water down our trade. I get very excited about restaurants, because I think restaurants are really brave about their identity. They're very excited that even the companies, you know, Ramsay's got dozens of restaurants, but they all have that very clear identity, that some people will hate Ramsay at one place but love him at another, and so on. And I think this borough has done so well. I've watched these pubs that no one goes to get locked up and shut down be reinvented as these amazingly cool bistro bars, gastro bars, and they've managed to do it without being so pretentious that you wouldn't want to go there. And I think that's the thing for going forward for business, is customers want to know what you're selling. And I think ridiculously we've spent a very long time, and certainly my industry has spent a long time not shouting about that, not being clear about that. My company shouldn't be up against chains and so on. It's a different thing. You go to them for a different thing. Yeah, I think if we're looking for a business model, we certainly look at great restaurants, the restaurants that you really want to go to, that you want to take the wife to, that you want to go with your family on a Sunday. And I think those models are, again, about engaging with the community, making sure people know you're there and wanting to come, not because you're going to just cut their hair, but because you're going to make that a really nice experience. That hour that they're getting a haircut should be a really nice experience. Going to the shops to buy your groceries should be a really nice experience. If it's not, go Ocado and don't leave your house. You want it to be nice.
So you're saying remain authentic?
I think authenticity is absolutely, totally key. People really, and I think more and more going forward, it's what people are going to buy. That authenticity, without a doubt.
I looked on this originally in terms of what business models we look to have in clients, but then thinking about it, I think it applies to business models for companies in my industry as well, and that's one that focuses on growth. If our clients want to grow, then we want to know them and we want to help them do that. If they don't want to grow and they're happy staying where they are, then there's only so much that we can do to help them. We can make them look better or whatever, but if they really want to grow, then that's great. I think in the creative industry, in my industry, which spans creative, technical and marketing, the growth is really important. Also, I would say flexibility. If your company is able to be agile and change to changing circumstances, that's really important. And I know that you've only got a little bit of time, so I'll just say knowing when to say no is really important as well. We found that we constantly being asked, can you fix my laptop? Yeah. Now we say no, but these people can.
Potter, Grayson Perry, has around his bin, some of you may know this because you heard it on the radio, which is what I heard. He has around the top of his bin this little emblem which he's written, which it says, "Creativity are mistakes." And he says that every time then he does a pot on his wheel and it goes wrong and he lobs it into the bin and it smashes, he remembers that it's in the bin that's where the creativity and where the ideas are bubbling up. So I guess in terms of an ideal business model for your sector, it's one that takes risks, it's one that's prepared to make mistakes.